Good morning, class. Today, in celebration of spring, I know you guys have probably heard the little nursery rhyme, April showers bring May flowers. So we're gonna do a beautiful, rainy spring cloud. And it's gonna be beautiful and bright colors, and I'm gonna show you two different ways you can finish it so that you can choose exactly how you want it to go. So for supplies today, we just need watercolor paints. We need our clean water with paintbrushes, and we need watercolor paper and then a piece of paper towel or kitchen towel that you can use at the end. So first things first, we're going to use a nice big, inexpensive watercolor paintbrush, and I'm just gonna put a lot of water on it. And what I wanna do is just with water, I want to draw a big puffy cloud. So I'm just going to make it lots of big circles. I want rounded edges. I want big puffy cloud, kind of a straight puffy bottom. And you can give it an interesting shape by making sure that it's not too perfect. We want it to have a little bit of character because you know the clouds in the sky never are identical. They never look exactly the same. So we're just gonna make this beautiful puffy cloud with our water. Make sure it's nice and wet, okay? And let's see, I think that looks pretty good. So just add a little bit more water, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take some paint, but first I'm gonna activate my watercolor paints by just spraying them with some water and get them working. And with our wet paintbrush, we're just gonna grab some color, and I'm gonna use two colors at once, and I'm just going to add them to my cloud, okay? So we're just gonna keep on adding them, beautiful colors. And if it's too wet, you can take some of your kitchen towel and you can dab it away, but we can also pull our paint down like we've been learning to do all semester. And we do want these beautiful irregular shapes and colors. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of purple and I'm just gonna give it a little bit of interest down here at the bottom and through the top and middle. And we do want white in our cloud because clouds are not opaque unless it's right before they rain, and even then they still have some nice white in there. Okay, beautiful. All right, once you're happy with your storm cloud, I think it looks really nice, you can go ahead and clean your brush really good. And I don't want any paint left on it. And I just want to use some water. So I'm going to take a very wet paintbrush and I'm going to use just the corner of it and dab and make an empty drip of water. Okay? And it's going to sit right there. If it starts to soak in to your watercolor paper, you just add a little bit of more water, dot it on top, okay? And these are gonna be our raindrops. And it's gonna be a really neat effect that you're gonna see at the end. There's a wonderful art teacher that I follow on YouTube, and she gives me some great ideas. And actually, some of your favorite ideas that we've done this year have been fun things that she has highlighted on her YouTube channel that she's been teaching in her art classes. And I just love her creativity in creating these beautiful designs with just a little watercolor and some water. And I like watercolor because you can really do whatever you want to do. You can be the artist, you can do small dots or big dots. And once we've got those in, now I've got all of my dots in. You can kind of see them, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fill them in. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush, and I want it pretty dry, and I'm gonna pick up some paint from my palette. Let's get some kind of pinky red. And you're just gonna very carefully touch your water drop and just mix it in, okay? So I want 2 dots for each color, just to give some symmetry. Symmetry makes it a lot easier on the eye. And then when you're washing off your paintbrush, you just want to make sure you dab it onto your kitchen towel to make sure that you're not bringing in colors that you didn't mean to, or making an accidental brown. Now these watercolors that I'm using are not a real strong pigment. These are actually washable watercolors. And I bought them for this class because they're very inexpensive, and I wanted to show you that you get great effects from inexpensive paint. But because of that, I have to kind of jiggle the paint around in the raindrops. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's see, we've got kind of a greeny yellow and we've got a pink. So let's do a light purple, kind of a pinky purple. Okay. And then we can do really nice dark green. It's really nice because you can pick your favorite colors. Or if this is a gift, if you want to give it for Father's Day or Mother's Day or Grandparents' Day or your learning coach, you can make it any color you want, and you can choose their favorite colors. Or you can just do rainbow, which is what I'm doing now. I'm going to get a really dark orange here. And then I need a couple dark colors, so I'm going to go pretty dark blue. Isn't that nice? Go really dark purple. And then let's see, what last color can we use? I'm gonna go with a really buttery yellow. Okay, so there is our rain cloud and our rain done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go along our cloud and I'm gonna pick up any excess paint that will drip, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Okay, and I'm just barely touching the edge of the towel. Now this is not a required step. I'm just trying to neaten it up a little bit so that we're ready for our next step. And then we're gonna take our kitchen towel, and I've got it right here. I'm gonna fold it in quarters. So I've got a nice hard piece here. And I'm gonna take my sheet carefully and my kitchen towel, and I'm gonna make it rain. So there you go. We've got a beautiful rainy day cloud. And then I also did another one earlier so that if you want to take your rainy day cloud and you don't want to make it rain, you can keep it with just the dots and let it dry just like that. And you can just have rain coming down, or you can pretend it's beautiful colored rainbow snow, anything you like. So this is a fun little project, and I love that you can make it pretty quickly. It does require a little bit of drying. I did this one an hour ago and my dots still have not soaked in. I don't recommend that you use a kitchen towel to speed up that process. I would just leave it overnight on the counter. And do make sure you put kitchen towel or something that you can put underneath of your watercolor paper when you shake down your raindrops. And then if you find that you really wish that you had more color in your raindrops, you can add more dots once this is dry, and you can make it rain again, and you'll have another layer of dots coming down. So it's a fun project that you can do. You can do it with your siblings. You can do it with hardly any supplies at all. And I hope you really enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great day.